What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another wonderfully horrible episode of the Gruesome Element. I am your co-host, Mr. Majin Drew, and along with me, the man behind the computer who does the audio and editing. We don't give him enough credit, I swear.
It's like the wizard from the Wizard of Oz behind the curtain. But you can see him.
See him in all his glory.
And also we have a wonderful special guest for this very Halloween metal episode. Give it up for the fucking Negan of our world.
No, Negan has Lucille. I have Lucinda.
Give it up for Johnny Death, y'all.
She likes tacos and burritos.
And she has a friend that follows her with high heels.
You don't need him. He's a fucker. He's an asshole. He didn't text you last night.
Following you over.
Alright, so guys, happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
We're here gonna be doing an episode about our favorite movies, but first of all, want to share with you some stories that we have of growing up with Halloween memories and stuff.
Anyways,
You gotta.
With your birthday being so close, you remember anything like going on Halloween?
Well, you know,
growing up?
I'm Hispanic. You know, half Hispanic. So I grew up with all my Hispanic relatives. So you know what that means. If you have more than one person that has the same birthday in the same month, you celebrate all in one day with one birthday cake with like 6 different names on it. So happy birthday, Dolores and Johnny and Jimmy and Bella and Chana and Uncle Paul and Wendo and Wella and so you go to HEB and you're like, you get the cake and you're like, yeah, I need to put 7 names on there. So put happy birthday. No, you spell Chela with a CH. Yeah, so we really never celebrate my birthday on my actual birthday. We usually wait till Halloween and we just have like a little get-togethers because I like Halloween, you know, better. So rather than do, and usually my birthday falls on like the middle of the week, so it was like a Tuesday or Wednesday. This year it's on a Saturday, so you know, I got one story I got to tell.
I want to hear this.
I'm actually kind of proud of this, but back my parents live in, you know, in the city of Kyle, like in the downtown, you know, where all the, you know, and so after a while, a few years, like people knew not to go down that road anymore because I used to scare the shit out of people like religiously over there. And my dad had a chainsaw, and I used to dress up like Leatherface like 3 or 4 years in a row. And and so I would wait in the side of the house, and my brother would be in the front, and I would hear him be like, "Hey guys, come on down the driveway over here," you know, and stuff. And he'd, you know, wave him down. And as soon as I waited about 5 seconds to then get from the car or whatever, and then, you know, and me and my brother had like signals, so he'd be like, "Oh, okay, yeah, you know, whatever." And then I knew that they were getting whatever and stuff. And or if he started talking about their costumes, I knew they were close. So he was, "Oh, you're a little pirate, and you're what, a fairy? Tooth fairy? Oh, okay, cool." So I was like, okay, that's my cue. They're getting real close. And I would jump out of the side with a real chainsaw, mind you, and they had the blade on it too, and I would scare the shit out of these kids. Well, that went on for, you know, then one year this lady was pushing a baby carriage down the thing. I didn't know it. I'm on the side of the house. It's pitch black. The only lights are a few in the front of the house, and my brother's doing the thing. He doesn't, you know, we didn't have no signal for it. There's a crazy, you know, there's a bitch pushing a baby carriage. So I jump out in character with the chainsaw. She runs to her minivan, leaves the kid there. And my mom and my aunt were next door at my grandpa's house watching and laughing. And so my mom runs down, and my aunt, and they're like, ma'am, it's okay. It's just my son. But being the professional I am, I didn't break character, so I was going up to the van, I'm all like whatever. The husband's in there like laughing, giving me the thumbs up, and just like you know, bro, that was fucking up, you know. And the poor mom, she's fucking trauma because she's there with her head down, and she's like, and he's all like, babe, she's like, no, and he's like, babe, you know, it's just you know, it's for fun, whatever, you know, and stuff. And so my mom literally had to bring the baby up, and I just think about that as like, most parents, you know, their first instinct, protect the little cub, you know what I mean? Protect my child. You know, I'll put myself in front of a bullet, you know, or I'll fight off a werewolf to save my child. This bitch was like, I got 9 more kids like that when I was fucking...
Well, you know what that means?
I don't even remember the name. Was that Pedro or Pedro? I don't know. I don't care. I can, in 6 months, we'll make another one. And
you know what that means? That's not his kid.
Probably. He looked like the gardener. I don't know, but yeah. But and then of course I stay in character, and then that same night, a group of kids came by, maybe like an hour later, and all of them were kind of, you know, 4 or 5 years old. But there was one kid that was like 10 or 11. You know, he was taller than all the other kids, and he tried to be the, I'm not scared. I'm scared. And the whole time I'm, revving. I'm, all the other kids are scared shitless. They grab their candy and they leave. That one kid's like trying to be brave, talking shit as he's walking out. I grab his arm and he lets out the biggest fucking scream. And starts crying and bawling and running like a little bitch with a skin knee and shit. And I was like, you little pussy, bro. But
I thought you were gonna go into the whole Mrs. Doubtfire. Please
get back in your cell.
Don't make me get the hose.
No, but yeah, I mean that was great. After a while, we'd see people drive by and they'd see me and I'd be waving at them and stuff, and they'd be like, no. But we did all kinds of shit. Like one year, I buried my brother halfway into the ground from his stomach down, and we put a fake torso, and so when people would come by, he'd be like, oh, then we'd run out and be like, oh, and like rip the bottom half out and stuff. And then one year, I was like Leatherface. One of my other cousins was Freddy, and then Michael Myers. And the way my mom's house is, it's like a cul-de-sac, like driveway that makes like a half moon.
Yeah.
So they would block each exit, and then I'd come out from the backyard, and then my brother was all like, like luring them in, and then they couldn't run because there's Michael Myers on one end of the driveway and Freddy Krueger on the other end, and I had this pair of gloves with real like blades on them and stuff, and like we made it real, man. Like like my cousin still had a real butcher knife, from like the kitchen, and I had a real chainsaw. And except for that one year where my dad's chainsaw was in the shop because he stopped. I used a weed eater, so
I would like to see that movie.
My mom was like, really? And I'm like, it makes the sound. It'll work. And sure enough, I came out of the side. It's all. And only one guy stopped me and was like, hey, Vato, what brand is that, man? I'm like,
Is that the Weed Eater 2000?
It's a Troy built. Oh man, that's a good one, dude. Hey man, if it ever he gave me like advice on how to clean it. I was like, thanks, man. Happy Halloween. All right, good. All right, man. Well, yeah, man.
Honestly, I want to see the movie with Leatherface with the Weed Eater now. I want to see how bad he can go into town with that.
That's one thing we were good at. I was always good at, like that last minute, like those last minute, like
ideas,
scrambles. You know what I mean? Like you have a whole month or a year to prepare, but when it's like the 2 days before, that's when your brain gets into like, oh shit, okay, I gotta, whatever. And you start improvising. You start,
like what kind of like me and my brother figured out how to do was like make fake wounds and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Out of glue.
The prosthetic kind of stuff?
Yeah, so like we would like put like glue on our hands and then like let it dry and then like kind of like cut it open a little bit and then just like put like fake blood on it. It would make like almost real looking wounds and stuff. That's kind of what we just figured out how to do, like, because we didn't really have money for costumes and shit.
Also works as a good, I don't know how safe it is to put on your skin and shit, but those little caulking stuff.
Yeah.
One time when the Dark Knight came out, my cousin made the little Joker scar. I have pictures of it out. I guess I can see if we can post them on the thing, whatever. But we did a good job. It looked like the little jagged scars, and then he painted them red, and he put on the shirt, with button-up shirt with the stripes and the vest, and then and he did the whole.
Yeah, but now you can just get like liquid latex like at Walmart.
Well, back then it was like.
Back then, like it was kind of harder to get that stuff.
And I think he ended up getting a rash or something from the chemicals in the. But it was one of those, like. That's how hardcore we were, man. We would wait in the bushes. I remember one time we would wait in the bushes to scare the shit out of cars and people passing by. We'd be bitten by ants, mosquitoes, fucking in snake infested bushes and all kinds of fucking centipedes and shit. But we sit there patiently wait for somebody, whatever. And I remember one year my brother dressed up like fucking Bigfoot and would wait on the side of the road, and he would jump out and like run across the road when cars were passing by, and they'd be like,
did y'all see that?
And think about it now, like, oh, he could have got ran over and shit, but we didn't. We survived.
At least it'll be out of science.
Yeah.
Eddie, what about you? Any Halloween stories you want to share?
Nah, mostly we didn't really celebrate Halloween too much.
Were you out Jehovah's Witnesses or what?
No, like mostly like like Mexicans, like you don't put up decorations and stuff, but you go to other people's houses and like get candy and shit.
You go to
Not
the,
where I'm from.
you go to the rich neighborhoods because they give out full size candy bars.
Exactly.
And then, but then when they trick or treaters come to your house, they turn off the lights, the porch lights and shit, and they hear the TV on, and they're like, shh, turn it down, mute it. Hey, until they leave, then it's like you turn it back on.
Fail, cut it.
Also, we never really had like money for like costumes and shit.
Really?
Yeah, so like I would go trick or treating and just like either be me by myself, like without a costume, or like some shitty mask, like a Jason Voorhees mask, like from the dollar store, or something like that.
Hey, Charlie Brown put a fucking sheet over his head and cut 2 eye holes, but
Isn't that called the Klan?
no, but I think you get beat up though if your mom catches you putting holes in her sheets.
No, you're fucking. Well,
You got those from Ross, cabrón.
Exactly.
and
Those are expensive.
it wasn't double discount.
I do remember like one time when we had like a haunted house thing like at school, and it was like elementary school, so I thought like, oh yeah, it's gonna be like spaghetti and like spaghetti brains and stuff like that. When they like went all out, they had like some bitch like a tomb, like stabbing herself, shit.
Really?
And I went inside there, and I'm like, it just like traumatized me. And then like right after that too, we went home.
I wonder you can't take shits by yourself in the bathroom.
We went home and the movie the people under the stairs was on, and that traumatized me even more so.
Yeah, I bet you of all people, it's Roach.
What? Oh, he can't talk.
Yeah.
He cut off his tongue.
So, are you sure the people under the stairs was not making you afraid of white people? But, I mean, I grew up in Corpus, so Halloween is celebrated, like, hardcore. And, of course, Corpus, we actually do have, like, some haunted spots, like Heritage Park, Hangar 18.
The spot where Selena was shot?
No. No. Oh, my God.
I gotta walk through the parking lot and hear, bitty, bitty, bubble.
Come on, floor. Where?
Chico, de la pata me cocinca.
Forget me, bitch.
As in Halloween, actually, there's this one story I have never told anyone ever in my life. I always kept it a secret. So, walking downtown, there's the courthouse, and this courthouse is haunted. It's an old courthouse. They used to have the court at the bottom, the prisons were on top, and then the executions on the very top. So, right around there is a concert venue called Concrete Street Amphitheater, and that's where we always went to concerts. And that's where, funny thing is, I actually got to meet Sherry Moon from Rob Zombie's concert. And around there, it was around Halloween. There was me and my friends. We were just walking past, and they ditched me. So I was walking past this old fucking courthouse, and out of the corner of my fucking eye, I just see something moving. I'm like, what the fuck is that? I turn and I see it's a fucking homeless man jerking off in the fucking doorway, and like he's like this, and like all I hear is, "Oh yeah, baby." Oh, I fucked the judge here too. I'm like, what? I was like,
and then
whoa.
did y'all's eyes lock and you see each other?
No.
And he's like, either do something to help out or get the hell out of the way. And you're like,
no. And it's funny. Right across the street was a fucking firehouse, and like I was like, and they were out there just like drinking a beer and just like.
My thing is, what was the motivation that the bum was by a courthouse and it's like, you know what? This is the perfect place to do the old knuckle shuffle.
You know what would have been funny? Like if you went up to those firemen and you're like, "Did you just see that homeless guy jerking off?" He's like, "No, what are you talking about?" There used to be a guy who died a long time ago who
he used to jerk off with Long John Silver's wrapper because it was full of grease and
lubricant.
And one day he had a heart attack and died.
You talking about Stinky Pete? He died like 10 years ago
with his wiener in his hand. That's scary. Halloween, just on multiple levels, it's scary.
Yeah, but mainly like for me, like later on is when we started like celebrating Halloween, we would watch a bunch of like movies and stuff.
Yeah.
Speaking of movies, we're gonna be talking about our top 5 favorite horror movies, or just like movies to watch at Halloween in general.
Yep.